Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Mukesh English. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about a famous poem Freedom by a Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was a polymath poet, philosopher, musician, writer, and educationist. He became the first Asian to win the Nobel Prize in 1913 for his collection of poems Gitanjali. He was called Gurudev, Kavi Guru, Vishwa Kavi affectionately. His songs are known as Ravindra Sangeet. He was interested in the common people and worked for social reforms in addition to his literary activities. He also participated in the Indian nationalist movement. He became the voice of India's spiritual heritage to the rest of the world and a great living institution in India. In the poem Freedom, through his non sentimental and visionary approach, Tagore mentions the need for freedom to begin from each and every individual heart, and then it could be felt in the pairs. Freedom is a patriotic poem by Tagore. In this poem, he expresses his hopes and vision for his motherland, India. He is the outspoken supporter of Indian independence from Britain and wanted the end of the British Raj, which is the theme of the poem Freedom. In this poem, Tagore talks about four types of freedom which are necessary for the well being of India. The first one is freedom from fear. Second one is freedom from the passive state of our homeland. And the third one is freedom from the anarchy of destiny. And the last one is freedom from the insulting world of puppets. The poem begins. Freedom from fear is the freedom I claim for you, my motherland. Freedom from the burden of the ages, bending your head, breaking your back, blinding your eyes to the beckoning call of the future. Freedom from the shackles of slumber herewith. You fasten yourself in night's stillness, mistrusting the star that speaks of truth's adventurous paths. In the first two lines, Tagore says that fear is the most dangerous thing all Indians have to get rid of that. Real freedom is the freedom from fear. Fear always limits freedom. In the second line, Tagore uses the phrase motherland to signify India. These two lines express his desire to get India freedom from fear. The third line expresses his second wish that helps Indians to have a bright future. He says that all Indians have to get freedom from all senseless, illogical, orthodox beliefs and traditions. In front of British colonial rule, Indians are inactive. We considered Britishers as ideal and they came to India to educate and civilize us. We considered them as masters and obeyed everything that was imposed on us without any resistance. Tagore wanted to break such attitude towards Britishers and start a new era where Indians can enjoy the freedom. Tagore did not want to bend our heads in front of the British masters. We have our own traditions and conventions to follow. In the next two lines, Tagore says that we are inactive under British rule. All Indians have to be awakened from the sleeping. Time has come to stand for freedom. The country disrupts the star that speaks of truth's adventurous paths, which means to say that it does not want to look around in its dark time. We need to imagine a bright future for itself as an independent country. The poet continues, freedom from the anarchy of destiny, whose sails are weakly yielded to the blind uncertain winds, and the helm to a hand ever rigid and cold as death, freedom from the insult of dwelling in a puppet's world, where movements are started through brainless wires, repeated through mindless habits, where figures wait with patience and obedience for the master of show to be stirred into mimicry of life. So here, Tagore says that we have to get freedom from the anarchy of destiny. It is meaningless to criticize everything for destiny. Under the British Raj, India had to lead meaningless lives. Therefore, Tagore says that we have to lead a meaningful life by fixing our own aims and objectives. We are not sailors who sail based on the blind, uncertain wind. We have our own destiny, we have our own aims and objective. Another thing Tagore says is that we Indians should get freedom from the insulting world of puppets. Tagore compares Indian life with a puppet show, whereas very things are controlled by the master. Same way, everything is controlled by Britishers. We just obey the instructions given by the British administrators. In a puppet show, the movement of the puppet is decided by the brainless wires held in the hands of the puppet master. All the puppets look more obedient and act or move only based on the movement of wires held in in the fingers of the master. This is a kind of mimicry of life. Same way, the Indian administration and culture are being controlled by the British masters and we are forced to follow it. So Tagore wishes his motherland to be able to live freely and making her own decisions and shaping her own destiny. In this poem, the famous Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore expresses his wishes and vision for his motherland, India. The first wish he has for India is the wish of freedom from fear. He believes fear of his countrymen is responsible for her plight of slavery. The second wish he has for his motherland is the freedom from the burden of senseless, illogical, and orthodox beliefs and traditions which don't let her to see the future. His third wish for India is to break free of her fear of taking risk. He wants her motherland to dare to walk on the adventurous paths. He also wants her not to trust so much in the uncertain destiny, nor allow the control of her forward movements in the hands of the narrow minded and heartless people. His last wish for the motherland is the freedom from humiliation of living as a slave in the hands of foreign invaders. He wants her to stop living like a puppet, whose each and every movement is governed and controlled by the master of the show. He wishes her motherland to live freely, taking her own decisions and creating her own future. Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, like and share it. Thank you once again.